Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to this new moon ceremony in Gemini. This is June 6th. We had this new moon earlier this morning, and I'm here with some friends of mine, some new friends, and some old friends that I've known for decades. So hooray, hooray. Awesome, awesome. Everybody, welcome. And I created a little presentation because that's what I do. I'm a visual learner. And so I think I attract other visual learners who like to see what's being talked about. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And this is the new moon. What's going on? Yeah, this is the new moon. This right here is the new moon. From the Earth's perspective, we can't see it at all. So here's the things that I recommend people have for this ceremony: a journal, okay? Because after we do the meditation, I give people time to actually write something down in their journal. And I think that's important because we're in a state where information is coming to us, and we want to get that down kind of like as a record for every new moon. This is what came through for me. And also what happens is that all of a sudden we're writing and all of this new stuff comes in. So that's kind of like intuitive channeling of through writing. So that can happen for people. So we have a journal, and right now we can light the candle. If you've already got your candle, I've got this cute little candle and this lighter. So as I'm lighting this, it is reminding me of something that I always need to remember, that I am a spark of the divine, and so is everybody else. And so are you all also. So if you didn't have a candle, if you're like in your car or something, you don't have a candle, no worries, because this candle is standing in for you. And there it is, lighting it up. And I'm putting it kind of far away from me because one of the other things that we bring is water to drink. So we're going to sanctify our water. Some of you know Reiki, so you can put a Reiki symbol in there. If you have sacred water from a sacred place, mine is from Chalice Wells, which is the heart chakra of the world. I just put a couple of drops. I don't have to. This has been lasting me for 3 years. So now this water is sanctified. If you can't do either of those two things, just do a little spiral thing in there. Just we're sanctifying the water that we're going to drink later as part of the ceremony, but we want to get that all going and all started up. So what is this long scarf? Well, we're going to be moving because a lot of times people listen, like I'm going to talk for a half an hour about the moon. Okay, I'm just going to tell you up front. Your eyes may glaze over and you may not know what the heck. So when we move, actually right after we get a download of that kind of information, it really helps us embody that information so that when we go into the meditation, it's more accessible to us. So for me, it helps with a scarf. You don't have to use one. Clearing tools, I find this really helpful. This is a selenite wand, and a lot of times if I'm too hyper getting on these calls, I'll do this and it'll just calm me right down and just get my thoughts into place, which is good for you guys because you have to listen to me. And then this is a aura spray. So if you have one, this one is from Chalice Wells, and I just spray this. And again, it calms me down, which is something I always like to do. So calm us down, clear our mind, just waves that we have. You might have something that you do that just takes a second, that you don't need any tools to just boom, clear your mind. Do that if that's what you do. So that's what we've got for the ceremony. Oh, and there's a dark chocolate too. So I got my dark chocolate. And I've got this all ready to go for the ceremony. So there we are. Got all my toys. So next thing I do is this song came through. I wanted a song to come through for all my classes, and this is the one that came through. These are the 7 directions, according to kind of the shamans are saying that these archangels come in through these directions. If you look at astrologers, they have different stars that are in different directions. So anyway, figure out for right now where east is for you. And we're all going to start this facing east. Then we're going to go southwest, north, below, above, and within. So this is the song lyrics right here. If you want to like obsess over what the lyrics are, they're right there for you. If you just kind of want to hum along, that's fine too. So here we go. I'm facing east. Spirits of the east, inspiration, Archangel Raphael, please come. Spirits of the south, fiery creative spirits, Archangel Michael, please come. Spirits of the west, wandering spirits, Archangel Gabriel, please come. Spirits of the north, clearing spirits, Archangel Gabriel, please come. Spirits of below, Mother of potentiality, Archangel Sandalphon, please come. Spirits of above, Baba Sky, perspective change, Archangel Metatron, please come. Spirits of within, heart spares cubes, Archangel Hanael, please come. Okay, so notice how you feel. Was there any archangel whose energy you felt come in stronger than any others? Maybe you don't know the archangels, maybe you know the directions. Did you feel one particular direction? This time I really felt Archangel Gabriel. She just really wanted to let me know she was there. So if you just think about it, just something for you to notice which directions, which archangels are coming up for you. But this is what the new moon is. We just had it. Let's see, I think most of us, I don't know where, I know that Carrie's in Hawaii and Sunshine, I don't know where you are, but I think the most of the rest of us would have the new moon just happened at 5:37 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The San Diego and Rosarita Beach are so close together that they would have a very similar chart. So it may look, this is going to look different for Carrie because she's quite a bit further west. And so the ascendant in the midheaven isn't the same. So I didn't even put the ascendant in the midheaven, but it kind of is showing Gemini in the first house, which is huge. Look at all of this, these planets right here, all of these right here, all of these are around here. This is all telling us, come in. This is all telling us what sign. So this is like a circle divided into 12. And these 12 signs are what is on the ecliptic. And the planets go through the ecliptic. And this is Gemini. There's just tons of Gemini. And we've been kind of moving. During the pandemic, a lot of planets were in Capricorn. When Pluto moved into Aquarius in January, a lot of planets popped over and said hello to Pluto, and there was a lot of action happening in Aquarius. Then a lot was happening in Pisces, and Saturn is still there. These right here are the glyphs that show the planets and the luminaries and the points. The black ones are not the popular ones. The popular ones get their own color. And what is a new moon? A new moon is when the moon in Gemini, the Gemini new moon, is right on the same degree. These are the degrees right here. The same degree, 16 degrees, 17 minutes of Gemini along with the sun. So they get to meet up every 28 days or so. And this new moon, Yahoo, they got to meet up with Venus. So Venus has been in the heart of the song of the sun. She's getting a recharge. We're now in the transmutational Venus phase. We're now in the evening star Gemini Venus star point. She goes through her process, and every 9 months she hits a different star point out of 5 that are active. And right now, Gemini is one of the active ones that Venus is moving through in her process. So we've got another interesting conjunction. This little tiny bit here is a star Rigel, and Rigel is in Orion. And so I have pictures of that. We're going to talk about how we might be able to tune into the stars of Orion, especially Rigel, during this particular new moon. Anytime the sun is on a star and you really want to get to know the star, find out when the sun is going to be meeting up with it, and then it's easier to tune in and get information from that star. So we're going to see if we can get any information from Rigel today. So just if you can't, no worries. I mean, everybody, pretty much, we're going to start with trying to feel the sense of the sun and the moon, meaning that these two opposites coming in, meeting up. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to make Carrie co-host while somebody is coming in. We've got a new person. Thank you for coming. The new person that just showed up on an iPhone. Okay, and we've got, so what else is happening? Well, I wrote a list over here. We've gone through these two. We have other things in Gemini besides these 3 that are all on the same degree. These 3 are in the other part of Gemini. Jupiter just a couple of days ago stepped into Gemini. Mercury 3 days ago stepped into Gemini. Mercury was at 0 degrees, and now Mercury is at 6 degrees. So Mercury's moving pretty fast, which makes sense because it's the closest one to the sun. And then Jupiter is at 2 degrees. And last month on April 20th, we had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. And we can see that Uranus moves much slower than Jupiter. Uranus is still in Taurus. And now we've got all of these planets here. And guess what they're doing? They're making this beautiful flowing trine to Pluto that's been in Aquarius since January 20th. And Pluto's in retrograde right now, which is interesting because we can look out over our journey since Pluto's been in Aquarius and notice if there's been any energetic shifts within us as we're learning, because it's never happened before in our lifetime, that we've been having Pluto in Aquarius. And if you have any planets or points within a few beginning degrees of Aquarius, then you're really going to feel this Pluto moving into Aquarius much more than other people. Or if you have a lot of planets in the opposite sign to Aquarius, which happens to be Leo, then you would feel it more, especially if you're Leo within the first 1, 2, or 3 degrees. So that's happening. But this is a beautiful way of thinking, because in Aquarius, we think these big, huge, we're going to go up and we're going to look down from above and we're going to see the big picture and we're going to, see the wholeness, and we're going to know that we're, all of us are connected in this universe. That's Aquarius. Gemini is very much more on the earth, and Gemini loves to talk to people and loves to gather up different perspectives and learn stuff, and can just go on the internet and go crazy and wild. And instead of getting sucked in by algorithms and looking at the same things over and over again, Gemini likes to explore and look around and find out all the free stuff up there, all the amazing free information that at the beginning of the internet, a lot of academics and scientists put on there. Then a lot of those are still there. They're just not being visited very much because we get distracted into people that want to sell us stuff and change our voting habits. So we've got this beautiful, beautiful trine of energy between these two air signs, these two signs of the mind. And Gemini really is very much of the mind, and Gemini is very playful. So we're going through this whole period, the last 16 days that the sun has been in Gemini, there's more of a lightness, more of a playfulness. And we've got, until the sun gets 30 degrees, and then it's going to be going into Cancer, the sign of Cancer after that. So we've got a couple more days of the sun in the fun. Yeah, the sun is having fun. And so this is all happening. We're going to be going into a square with Saturn is in a couple of days. Venus and the sun are both going to be having a square of Saturn. So we're just like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this and I'm just talking to this and woohoo. And Saturn is going to come in and say, okay, you had a nice big picture view. Now we're going to pull in and we're going to get focused here. And what do you really want to be doing? And so that's the question that Saturn's going to be coming in. And it could feel, especially if we have high youthful spirits, we could feel a little limited by this Saturn square coming up in 2 days. But for the most part, this is just really open, beautiful energy. We're going to tap into this energy, the sun, moon, and Venus at 16 degrees. We're not going to worry about, we're going to get really? You really want to do that? Are you sure? We're going to get that little check from Saturn. But if we know it's coming, we don't freak out about it because we know it's coming. And we know that it's helping us focus. So we've got some of the other things that I wanted to talk about. Sometimes Saturn comes in and it can feel really emotional. And so that's an opportunity for us to say, okay, I'm feeling all this emotion. That's probably good, because the more that I can clear out some of this emotional neediness I had since I was a child, the more I can function helping other humans in this life, doing all the things that I do to serve. So that's really good. So this check by Saturn is happening June 7th, 8th, and 9th. And Neptune right now is this one right here, and it is right next to this star called Shiat. And I have this one in my chart because my moon is right on it. So Neptune's on my moon right now, and this beautiful Shiat helps us open our crown chakra. So we're going to open our crown chakra and see if we can connect with Shiat. We're going to see if we can connect with Rigel. So those are two things we can do. I'm going to bring in during the meditation. If you just want to be focused on the opposites, sun and moon opposition, and resolving those polarities within yourself, then go for it. Do whatever you need to do. You don't have to do exactly what I'm telling you to do in the meditation. We also have this very interesting trans-Neptunian dwarf planet on these powerful cosmic points. Now we've got the galactic center, which is the center of the Milky Way. We have the supergalactic center, which is our twin galaxy is Andromeda, and those two and a bunch of other galaxies in our neighborhood and they're being gravitationally pulled to the supergalactic center, and it looks like a black hole, what scientists are describing as a black hole. But I don't think they quite know how amazing black holes really are. So interesting. We barely scratched the surface of the potentiality with that. And then all of our neighborhood galaxies are being pulled into the greater tractor, which is another point in Sagittarius. And then all those galaxies are being pulled into where Haumea is right now, which is the Shapley attractor. And so Haumea, this planet of rebirth, is sitting right on the biggest one of these gravitational pulls. So all of that information just to help us understand that there is a lot of unfolding and rebirth for humanity right now, because of all of this galactic energy. So now all of a sudden there's all these galactic astrologers, and there never were before, and everybody wants to know, okay, where am I really from? What constellation? Well, we know all of the planets in the star systems in the Milky Way, but we don't know the ones in Andromeda except for a couple, and we don't know. There's a lot of galaxies, and there's a lot of potentiality for visiting, and we don't need a spaceship to visit. Woohoo! Here is Eris opposite the star. Here's Eris, which is a asteroid goddess. She's a trans-Neptunian dwarf planet who moves really, really slow, and she's opposite this amazing star called Arcturus, which I've gotten to know since she's been there. And Arcturian energy is just really very, very healing and beautiful. It's emotionally healing, which is good. If emotion comes up for you in the next couple of days with Saturn going, this is a really good energy to tune into, is this Arcturian energy compliments of Eris, who I think of as fierce grace. But let's talk really, I've only got a couple more minutes to do this part of it. So we've got these three on the 16th degree of Gemini. So what is the 16th degree of Gemini? Well, there were a whole bunch of mediums, spiritual mediums, and this one spiritual medium, Elsie Wheeler, they were all talking about Sabian symbols and symbology, and they were getting things from the spirit world, and it was all symbolic and metaphorical, and they were really tuning into all this. And then an astrologer named Dane Redyard said, hey, there's just 360 degrees in the zodiac, and could you tune into a Sabian symbol for each one of the 360 degrees? And the two of them sat down and they did that. And so for Gemini in 16 degrees, which is where we are right now, where this new moon and Venus are right now, this is the image that this psychic medium received. The head of health dissolving into the head of mentality. So here we've got this picture of this book open, and this person's head is just like dissolving into this gigantic book. And so what in interpreting that, some interpretations of that symbol is using a mature and well-reasoned argument to bring another to an unemotional understanding. So where Saturn is going to possibly bring up some emotional volatility, Gemini is full of rational persuasion. So that's kind of interesting. We can get fortified in this before we face Saturn's check. It's amazing how the universe helps us, give us solutions before the problem even arises. It's amazing to me every time I realize it. So it's a recognition of our youthful emotions and the maturing towards wisdom, which is what Gemini is about. Gemini is a very youthful sign, full of youthful emotions. Um, so, and then this is all, if you read it, great. If you didn't, no worries. Um, so what is this star Rigel that is conjunct to this new moon with Venus? Okay, this is what that star looks like. It's a blue star. It is in the constellation of Orion, which I'm sure you've seen when you walk out. It's the most detectable star out there because it's right on the horizon. So we see it all year long if it's not cloudy, whether you're in the North Hemisphere or Southern Hemisphere. So this is not one of the zodiac sign constellations because this one is much closer to the horizon than to the ecliptic, which is where the zodiac signs are. So here's Rigel right here at the end. It's kind of like if you look at the whole picture of the hunter, it's kind of at his knee, or here you can see it kind of like all the way down, um, going down his hip. So, and then here's the brightest star in Orion is Betelgeuse, and some people call it Betelgeuse, but some other people call it Betelgeuse. And he you can kind of see that it's opposite from Rigel. And then these are some of the other stars in Orion. These three belt stars are really important. I always like to tune into those whenever, and I just have felt them for years just be like one belt star, two belt star, three belt star. There's kind of like how I work with those three is they are just one on top of each other on my brow chakra. And so they're helping me open and get information from the cosmos, from the stars, from the planets. So there's the belt star, those three stars. But it's Rigel. Those we had those we kind of touched into a few days ago. We're connected to Rigel right now. And so this is the Orion constellation. So we're going to see if we can get some information from Rigel. I took a look at this Galactic Heritage card deck and I pulled out all the Orion cards. They had quite a few. They had 12 Orion cards out of 108 cards. And this Orion, healing, crisis, and purging. So that's kind of where we're at with Orion energy right now. There's this sense that there's a huge polarity within Orion that got resolved. And so when we tune into the Orion, we can kind of see that the Earth is at the same point Orion was at, and we are in a healing crisis and purging period right now. And when we tune into, okay, Orion, tell me how you did it. Let's do this. There's this sense of within our own being able to purge a lot of old ideas that aren't working anymore. And the more we each individually do that, the more that actually helps the collective, that the more it helps clear our ancestral lines, the more it just helps with healing and purging and saying, yeah, this doesn't serve me anymore to think hierarchically. Oh yeah, this doesn't serve me anymore to think in terms of polarity. I'm working to resolve all the polarities. So the sun and the moon are polarities. The moon comes out at night. The sun is the daytime energy out there. The moon is more intuitive. The sun wants to take action. So there's like, we can be in opposition with those, or we can prefer one to the other. And so the Orion is helping us if we tune into Orion future or Orion parallel, we can step more into this space where the polarities that we're feeling on Earth right now can become resolved. So that's kind of advanced. If you just want to focus on the sun and the moon, go for it. But maybe you'll tune into Rigel. Who knows? You never know. Here is Altar, which is a star that Pluto has been sitting on. Pluto went all the way up to Altar, and then he turned around and did a retrograde, and you can see Altar right there, which is the beak of the Eagle constellation. So that's kind of cool. And then here's that beautiful Arcturus with this beautiful healing emotional energy. It hits in the Boots constellation right at this point that comes all the way down from a kind of a triangle. And so and Eris is the one that's opposite that. I was talking about Haumea, the planet, the dwarf planet of rebirth, being right on the Shapley attractor. That's how you spell all of that. And this picture is from 2013, kind of interesting. I think that's about when they figured out that that huge gravitational pull was happening. So is there any questions before we go into the movement that we're going to do just before the meditation? So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, you can unmute, you can raise your hand, you can let me know. Okay, let's see. Okay, Gary says he's good. All right. So here's what we're going to do in the meditation. We're going to do some movement. I'm going to use the long scarf or knot. I'm going to do the guided meditation. The question that we're going to end up with in the guided meditation is, what is being conceived within me now? Then you're going to come up with a baby step. You're going to journal. We're going to do some sanctified water. We're going to work with some communion with the chocolate. And then those people that want to share can share. So one person had a question and Sunshine has to leave. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. And so maybe I should make sure everybody knows that I'm doing this for an hour, but maybe next time I'll remember that. There's sunshine left. But I got another person on an iPhone that I don't know. Thank you so much for being here. And so what are some of the things? Now, if the picture, I went to Mexico City and went to the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and the picture is like a whole miracle. But the idea is that when we surround ourselves with a golden halo, this is what we're surrounding ourselves with, much like how Archangel, she's not an archangel, she's Our Lady of Guadalupe is within a golden halo. Okay, so we can feel a golden halo around us, and then that helps us. It helps us as we are adjusting and bringing in new energies and integrating. So we've got feminine. When we go into the eye of the heart, this is a Vesica Pisces, which is like overlapping circles, and there's tons and tons of overlapping circles. As we deal with polarities, we deal with feminine yin energy versus masculine yang energy. And as those two stop being such polar opposites within our own being, then it's amazing how well we get along with everybody. So this merging of these opposites within us, finding the feminine energy, the yin energy within us, finding the divine feminine energy, finding the masculine yang energy, and finding the actual divine aspect of that masculine energy. Feeling that these two opposites merging, the star Rigel helping us as we step into the eye of the heart, which is, if we do all this work, clearing out all the clutter on our heart, you can step more deeply into our heart and feel this is what we're doing. We're trying to get to the deepest level of our unfolding heart that we can manage right now, because within that is the soulful self and the ancients, Jesus followers before Christianity was institutionalized by the Romans. These are practices, ancient practices that they used to do in meditation, was go into the eye of the heart, check in what is happening, what is being conceived within me now is a question for the new moon. Okay, I've got somebody in the chat. Yes, I can email this presentation to you if you want to. I got one person that wants it. Anybody else, let me know. One of the other things that we can do, we're about to step into the movement. Get over here. I keep my chats in the way. We see this all the time above the heads of saints and religious figures in Renaissance paintings. They had a lot of these infinity signs or halos around the people, just around their heads. And we're living actually in an amazing time. It doesn't always feel like it, but we have more leisure time, more available time. We're not like working 24/7 just to feed ourselves and put roofs over our heads, although there are plenty of people on the planet that are still living in survival mode. So those of us that know where our next meal is coming from and know that we have a house, a roof over our heads, we have enough time to step into some of these realizations that people just this the infinite possibilities that some people just really were not able to step into previous. So one of the things we can do, we can move to figure eights going horizontal. We can also move to figure eights going vertical like this. All things we can do with our scarf, and if we don't have one, we can do it with our hands. And I realize that I honor and value every step of my journey, because everything that's ever happened to me felt like a tragedy at times. It felt really awful at times, felt like I was messing up my life at times, but all of it serves. All of it comes back, and all of the skills, all of the traumas, all the experiences just came to a point of, oh, all right, everything I ever learned that just felt like, what the heck? What was I doing that for? Made sense, finally. Okay, so here is, sometimes I like to copy the constellation that we're in. We're in Gemini right now. This is the twins. There's one twin and there's the other twin. So this Gemini energy with the two twins is a really, really good time to resolve some polarity. So it's kind of amazing that this particular new moon is right on Rigel, which is all about resolving those polarities. So we can move into those forms too. And so this is the question we're going to be asking. And I'm going to stop sharing this and turn on the music unless somebody wants to share something right now. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to move around. Tracy's here with us now. Hi, Tracy. And here we go. Okay, so we can have a seat. We're going to go into the guided meditation now. And take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your breath. Feel this wonderful earth energy below your feet. Feel that the bottoms of your feet are opening up and you're able to pull up some of this amazing earth energy, and that your feet are just like roots from a tree going down into the earth, pulling up the nutrients there. Maybe even going all the way to the earth star chakra, pulling up energy from the earth, bringing it up your feet, up your ankles and legs. Inhaling this earth energy all the way to your root chakra, knowing that you belong here on the earth at this time. Bringing this energy up to the sacral chakra, knowing that what is being conceived within you is getting some beautiful earth nurturing energy to come back and look at in a minute. Bringing this earth energy up to the solar plexus chakra, where we shine our light. We get to shine our light, and we get supported by the earth on which we stand. That earth energy coming up into our heart, and we leave some of this beautiful earth energy inside our heart chakra. And then we move the earth energy up into our throat, helping us speak our truth, helping us speak our truth in a way that doesn't rob anyone else of their autonomy. Bringing our earth energy up to our brow chakra. We can feel in our brow chakra the 3 points, the 3 belt stars of Orion if we want to, or we can open it in any way that we want to. Just feel this sense. Right now I've got 3 fingers on my forehead, pulling that open. And now the earth energy on the crown chakra, so that as we open the crown chakra, we've got some nice stable earth energy there. And now we are inviting the light of the sun to come down through our beautiful, beautiful crown chakra. And as we do that, we invite also the light of the moon, the light of the sun and the moon, no matter what time of day it is, the 2 of them coming together. They've joined today as one beautiful luminous light, together merging for us. And Venus, right there, the divine feminine Venus, the goddess star, with the sun and the moon, with the luminaries. And Venus is calling out to some of her favorite stars. We've got Arcturus coming in, this beautiful emotional healing energy. We've got Altar, where Pluto's energy is trine Jupiter and Mercury right now. We've got some beautiful, beautiful energy coming in with Rigel, where we can ask this beautiful star in Orion how we can resolve this polarity that we feel on the earth between intellect and intuition, between head and heart, between yin energy and yang energy. And we're feeling all of the energies of this new moon right ready on our beautiful, beautiful crown chakra. And we can now bring this beautiful new moon energy of all of this beautiful light down through our crown, down through our brow chakra, through down our face, through our jaw, through our throat and the back of our neck, feeling it lighten the load that we may carry on our shoulders, feeling this light come through all the way to our heart chakra. And we feel this light, this new moon energy light right here mixing with that earth energy that we brought up to help hold it, to help be the cup for it. And now we're holding this beautiful, beautiful energy that is merging this sky energy, this light, and this beautiful earth energy, this planet we chose to be on at this time. Those energies merging within our beautiful, beautiful heart chakra, bringing keeping most of the light there, bringing some of it down to the solar plexus chakra, bringing some of it to the sacral chakra, where we're going to be asking what's being conceived within us, bringing some of this light to the root chakra and to our feet, but now focusing within our own hearts. This beautiful, beautiful, we're going to take 3 intentional breaths and step into the eye of the heart, the eye of the Vesica Pisces. To do that, the first breath, we're going to surround our entire body and aura with a beautiful golden halo. Inhaling, exhaling, feeling the golden halo around us. Inhaling, another deep inhalation as we feel this light and this earth mix. This beautiful mixture, we can feel it mixing, touching, both there, feeling this, where these two merge, this earth energy and sky energy. And now our last intentional breath, we are stepping into the eye of the heart. And here within us, within this deep part of us, we're going to go into stillness, the stillness of it in a moment. But right now, we're going to be asking the question, what is being conceived within me now? What is being conceived within me now? So I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and we can ask that question over and over again. We may get, our answer might be a beautiful stillness. An answer might be a color or a word or an image or a moving image. There's all kinds of ways that an answer could come. It could come in your body. You could feel it. New senses are coming in, ways of perceiving information, incoming information from the heavens and the earth, here mixed within the eye of our heart. What is being conceived within me now? Taking some silence. Mm. 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 So again, the question, what is being conceived within me now? You may have a wordless answer. You may have an answer that is beyond words. So now it's time to be aware of all of this earth energy that we have brought through our body and all of this light. As we bring this light, this heavenly light, some of it moving into our solar plexus, some of it moving into our sacral chakra, some of it moving into our root chakra. And now we can ask the question of this that is unfolding within me now. What is a baby step I can take to bring this energy into my daily life, my daily reality? What is my baby step? And now when you feel that you've got your baby step, go over to your journal and start writing down anything that you experience that you want to remember, like what is being conceived within me now, what is my baby step. Just go into your journal. Mhm. So when you have an answer to what baby step are you initiating, then you go to your water that you've already sanctified. So if you just want to do a little refresh, to sanctify your water, know that you've got sanctified water. And as you drink this sanctified water, you think about that baby step that you're doing. Like, for instance, my baby step is to write my book for a half an hour a day. So I am going to be drinking the water, thinking about writing my book for a half an hour right after I feed the cat every morning. So that's my baby step. So I'm drinking that water now. Drink the water and think about your baby step as the water's moving all the way through. And now the next part is, what power greater than myself is going to help me to do this baby step, to bring what is being conceived within me into the world, bring it onto the earth plane. What being, what light, what energy, what archangel, what ascended master, what star, what planet, what is going to help me? And as we eat the chocolate, we can think and bring in and invite that being to help. Okay, so notice how you feel, that sense of communion with a higher power. I personally, um, Archangel Gabriel was like really strong as I was calling in the archangels today. So she really wants to be part of this book that I'm writing. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Because Archangel Gabriel gave me a golden pencil a couple months ago. And, that's a really, she's really right there saying, yeah, remember this book that I was trying to help you with? Here's your golden pencil. Yeah, yeah, come on, we're doing it. So it's just kind of, you just keep getting support where you need to get support for what you're trying to bring. So if anybody wants to share, we can, it's already after 1 o'clock. If anybody has to go, I'm sorry, we kind of ran over. I like to keep this to an hour, but if anybody wants to share anything that they received, they can do that. If you just want to unmute and let me know that you want to share real quick, that's good. No need to share. Gary, go ahead and unmute if you want to share. You don't want to share? You have to, okay. You have to, oh, there you go. Wait,
I'm
Carrie's,
sorry. I have to leave. But
okay.
that was
Thank you.
wonderful. It was wonderful. But I will tell you this much. Um, I started yesterday in this already, and um, my big thing is organizing, getting organized. I'm retired now, but
Mm,
I'm launching another aspect of my life, and
beautiful.
I'm involved in many different
Mhm.
worlds. Okay, and I'm keeping things organized, and this supported what I'm already doing. So I'm very thankful. And Renee, it
Yep.
was a pleasure meeting you and being a part of your group.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you. Come back next month. I do this free every
I
month.
will. You're going to hear from me. I want a
Okay.
reading, so you'll be
Okay,
hearing from me.
great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. And it's just like, Carrie, would you like to share something?
I would. That was a wonderful meditation. Thank you. I got first gel, like a jello mold kind of thing. And I
Right.
was like, what in the world is jello have to do with anything? And how could that end up being a first step? And to realize that I am gelling. It's fun, it's clear, it's a growth medium. And I
Mhm.
felt my heart chakra. I felt an eagle phoenix coming out of my heart, um, emerging from my energy, and realizing my first step is to gel myself, to
Mm.
prayer, meditation, be quiet and still, and 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 be in that gelling mode so that this eagle phoenix can emerge. And who's going to help me? My guide, Gray Horse. That
Yay.
was wonderful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for sharing. And it looks like Anne wants to share. Go ahead, Anne. Well, you see, you're not muted. I don't know why I can't hear you. What's I don't know why I'm not hearing you. There's something possibly because according to Zoom, we should be able to hear you. So I don't know what's going on there. Do you want to, is there something that you can type in the chat to let us know what you'd like to tell us? Because it's not coming through. And so I mean I'm gonna assume Sandra, and that's who is here with me. So glad you're here with me, Sandra, and you don't have to share, no worries. I'm just so grateful that you were here. If you want to, where's my next thing? Oh, I can't do this until I do this. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. Gary was just saying that he wanted to book a session, and I was going to not do any sessions while I was writing my book, but I just in the last couple of days decided um, to create a session that's not going to require 8 hours of preparation on my part before the session. So the Soul Purpose astrology readings, there's a summer specials for a 60-minute reading for 111 US dollars. I'm going to put this in the show notes. So those people watching the replay, just hit see more on the YouTube channel. And this right here that I'm copying right now and putting in the chat for the people here in case they want to book something, can this is also in the email that I sent out this morning, not the one I sent out last week. This Soul Purpose astrology reading. The next free ceremony is going to be on it's going to be on July 6th at 10 a.m. It's a Saturday. So that'll be good. And I've got the chat here. Let's see if Anne was able to talk to me in the chat. So we've got a new message. Okay, so cool. Yeah, I get to be with Anne. We're having a session on the 20th. So if anybody else needs that link, there's the link that she already asked me for, and she has already booked. So she's getting that. Thank you, Anne. I'm so happy that you're here, and I really, really look forward to your reading on the 20th. There are all kinds of what is my soul purpose. I'm going to post this as the outside for the when I post the replay, it's going to be what is my soul purpose? And these are all questions that the planets can answer for us. So that's kind of cool. But the last thing we all do is we sing this song. It's our closing song. So we're going to hold Sunshine. We're going to hold Gary. We're going to hold Tracy. They were all here and they left. Plus, there's several people that told me they were coming that will probably be watching the replay. Diane and Gina and a couple of other people. Hello, I love you. Melissa, here we go. I'm holding space. We're a big giant circle. If there's somebody that used to come, Brenda and Julia, there's people that used to come. So I'm like holding this big, huge space, and we're singing in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm so glad that you made it here